Hello, and this is week 10. We are discussing paying for the big time college sports and the differences between Division 1 and low to mid-major Division 1 programs, and using social media and streaming services for more revenue. The first thing is that these lower tier schools, these other Division 1 schools, are never really going to have a level playing field. There is so much money difference between the top schools and the lower schools that all the money is going for coaching contracts, newer facilities. They're coming in from TV revenue and ticket sales that just can't always be matched by these lower schools. I think possibly the best way to start is to create a new package and try to sell it to some major networks such as ESPN or other kind of sports channels, and someone that has the ability to stream these games. You want to get it to them, and you want to get it to them at a reasonable price for a very short length of time. This way some money already begins to come in, but at the same time the schools aren't committed to a long-term deal. Yes, the money won't be as high as it would be for the larger schools, but this is merely a stepping stone into something much longer and a much bigger package. Schools can then use this money to try to claim some independence from these other broadcasting stations. I think that schools would also greatly benefit from eventually being able to set up their own streaming services, but also using their own school networks to stream to students. This will be done using the school internet and having password and student ID requirements. And what we're going to see, though, is that student tuition will probably go up, not just from using the school services, but also because the sports program is going to need some more money. So there's one way to counteract this, and that is to use advertisers. These advertisers could be local or national chains, but they're going to be out there for online access. What we've learned and read about is that using streaming services creates more ad availability, so schools can use this additional space to sell more ads. This includes dual screens, their websites, streaming services, other kinds of web pages, and social media. And then you can also apply it to school-based programs such as coaching shows, which of course will be limited to student broadcasts, or if desired, part of the package deal for these larger broadcasting networks. What you would do is you would sell some of the advertising space to local companies or to these national chains, much like the way that these larger major sports do with their own sports recap programs or weekly updates. That's another thing that college sports could do, that they can use weekly updates for big sports, but also the little smaller sports that they have. They can use this to engage with feedback from students. Again, accessing social media to get these student feedbacks to see how these programs are going, as well as to get feedback for the team or coaching or anything. The last thing I think that could be used, and this was touched upon a couple weeks ago, is that there is still print. There are still schools that have student papers. We can use student papers to also sell advertising space. It's not quite the same with social media, but it is definitely a media that could be exploited. Thank you very much, and it was a pleasure having this class with everybody.